welcome back to my channel.
Miss Tam Kaur.
Tam with her and she's all about her jewelry, her fancy, chic lifestyle, and also Tam Kaur, in my opinion, is one of the biggest dribblers and wafflers on YouTube. The definition of waffling and dribbling: to talk or write a lot without giving any useful information or any clear answers. Speak or write at length in a vague or trivial manner. It's funny, everybody, look.
Everybody waffles.
I waffle, you waffle, we all waffle.
Waffling is normal, yapping is normal. We love a good girls chat. But I believe,
In my humble opinion,
that if you were going to be giving life advice, right?
Life coaching advice.
Especially to the majority, and a lot of consumers on YouTube are children, I believe that your advice should be backed up by
a lot.
right. It needs to be factual, logical, it needs to be healthy, it needs to be timeless. So yeah, I guess in this episode, we're going to look deeper. I always encourage everyone to look in depth. We're going to get to know Tam, watch her old videos and some of her new videos. We're going to evaluate her values, see where she's coming from, check out her credibility. I'm ready to also debunk and challenge some of these trendy, on-trend, phasey mindsets.
We need to get down to the nitty-gritty.
So without further ado, let's get into today's topic. Miss Tam Kaur.
Hey, mama.
Like mostly everything online these days are trends. It goes from food trends to fashion trends to mindset trends. Okay, I want to make this very clear that mindsets can also be trends. So I believe her mindset is very trendy. It's very phasey. It's a phase that a lot of girls go through, right? To feel a level of power, to feel a level of independence maybe in their bad girl era.
But that is an era, right?
People's advice, especially when they have a large following, matters a lot. A lot of you have wanted to see a video on Tam Kaur and have asked about what I think of her advice. She's a bit of a dribbler. Like I said in the beginning, a lot of things are trending these days, okay? Just because they're trending, right, doesn't mean that it's sustainable, doesn't mean that it's truly fulfilling, and it doesn't mean that it is something that's going to be timeless. Not from a pretentious way or
being timeless is more classy.
it's not like that. Being timeless is also being generational, okay? It's something that will be sustainable. Being timeless is stable, it's stability. It is also pretty classy, right? It's also humble, it's modest, it's quiet, but it's very powerful. And it's true power, right? It's also incredibly rare. And a lot of trends are the opposite of that. A lot of trends and a lot of people's mindsets that are on trend are either cash grabs or completely and utterly wrong. Not saying that it's 100% wrong, but a lot of it doesn't stem from a place of clarity, a place of logic, a place of genuine kindness and lucidity. Okay, a lot of it comes from hurt, pain, past traumas, maybe hate and aggression and past negative experiences of wanting to prove somebody wrong, right? Coming from the ego. So Tam Kaur, she has graduated from the University of Leicester, located in London, and she has received her first class honors in her marketing degree
And dissertation.
So what does this mean exactly? It reflects consistent high performance across one's coursework and demonstrates strong analytical research and communicational skills. Achieving a first class honors in your marketing degree, in any degree actually, is amazing. Okay, that's a lot of hard work. Very well accomplished, Miss Tam. This is basically what this degree means, but it's a marketing degree.
So where am I going with this? You guys will see.
Marketing degree, what can we do with marketing degrees? Okay, it can lead into marketing and communications, maybe in the management roles, executive roles, digital marketing specialist, PR officers, brand manager, data strategy, social media management, media planner, e-commerce and tech, e-commerce specialist, right? But what can this degree not do legally? Therapists or psychologists or psychiatrists of any sort? Not that Tam does. I believe hers is more life coaching. She's established herself as more of life advice giver, right? That stems from her own personal beliefs. But I do not agree with a lot of her mindset and her personal values because I believe that it's not sustainable and it's also not very fulfilling. So let's watch a few of her videos.
Let the analysis begin.
Okay, so this video is called Get Ready With Me while I expose my deepest thoughts.
One video I absolutely loved filming for you guys and that you guys loved was my chatty Get Ready With Me. Back then, I asked you guys to send me questions on Instagram and it was more like a Q&A about me. And I thought I want to film a video like that again, just where we can chat. It's like we're on FaceTime, you guys can get to know me better. But this time, instead of a Q&A, I am just going to be oversharing and exposing my deepest thoughts and just what I've been thinking about lately. Okay, fear is only reasonable if you've been down a certain path and you're about to go down the exact same path again, which is guaranteed to get you the same result that you know about, and that result scared you the last time you experienced it. But if you're about to embark on something new and you have no idea which way it's gonna go, fear is literally the most useless emotion in that scenario because it's irrelevant. It literally makes no sense.
Huh? It's like, it's advice like that. Like this is when I say she's dribbling, right? And she's waffling. It's just like, it's like advice like that you have to be like, you know what I mean? Like, your advice needs to make sense easily. Like, when you say it, people are like, ah, because she's not a philosopher, okay? Philosophers say things in a way that makes you think really deeply. And it's like, okay, hold on, let me absorb this. But she's not a philosopher. She's like, I would put her in the life coaching category, okay? Like, you're not supposed to make people go, wait, what did you just say? If you are just giving basic life coach advice, okay? I'm going to go back to what she said about fear.
But if you're about to embark on something new and you have no idea which way it's gonna go, fear is literally the most useless emotion in that scenario because it's irrelevant. It literally makes no sense.
I have to listen to that again, okay?
Okay, fear is only reasonable if you've been down a certain path and you're
okay, so fear is only reasonable if you've been down a certain path.
About to go down the exact same path again, which is guaranteed.
You're about to go down the exact same path again.
Guaranteed to get you the same result that you know about.
Which is guaranteed to get you the same result. I don't have to think this hard for a YouTuber.
Can you break it down for me like I'm a dummy?
And that result scared you the last time you experienced it. But if you're about to embark on something new and you have no idea which way it's gonna go, fear is literally the most useless emotion in that scenario because it's irrelevant. It literally makes no sense.
I still don't understand it.
Like, I feel like she could have said this in such a simple way. I feel like she could have just said,
you've done it, so you don't have to be scared anymore.
But the way that she said that, this is what I mean when she waffles, okay? And this is basically the entire video. She has a few Get Ready With Me videos where she just says the most basic things, but in a lot of different ways. And I feel like this is maybe where the marketing degree, the degree in, what's it called? She was a great researcher and I guess essay writer. So I guess she also speaks in a way, like she can say basic things and make it really, I don't know, like profound, but it's not that profound. It's just a different way of saying it, okay? This is, I have in my notes, the first 4 minutes is just been talking smack and dribble. All right, let's go into the 4-minute mark. I have notes for these.
But speaking of wealth, success, and fancy things, I was looking at my vision board the other day and I noticed that I put a Rolex watch on there and I was just looking at it like, why did I even put this on there? Like, I'm not someone who's really into watches. When it comes to fancy things, my main thing is designer bags, and literally that's it. Like, I don't even buy designer clothes because I honestly don't see the point in that. I'm not like a huge designer girly. I like a few certain things, but that's it.
But I don't see her as someone, like, not liking designer does not mean you're not materialistic, okay? I don't see her as someone that's modest in her choice of fashion. But hey, that's just her, okay? But we'll also get into that and why falling into over-consumerism, being overly materialistic as a person may not really be good for that person. We'll get into that too, but yeah.
But speaking of wealth, success, and fancy things, I was looking at my vision board the other day and I noticed that I put a Rolex watch on there and it made me realize that I have this thing where if there is something that is only available to a certain amount of people, or something that is luxury and desirable and is kind of marketed as something that the average person can't get and that not everybody can have, I want it. Like, I want it so bad. And it's like this thing of proving to myself that I can do literally anything I put my mind to.
Okay, so what's behind her wardrobe, right? We have Chanel, Coach, I don't know that brand at the bottom, another Chanel, and then we have Louis, and then Louis Vuitton. All right, so she's got 2 Louis, 2 Chanel, and a Coach. Have you guys not seen the recent news that's come out that most of the luxury brands has been literally called out? Everyone knows this, okay? Everyone knows that most luxury brands are made in China and packaged in Italy. And when they say made in Italy, most of the time it's packaged in Italy. If you worked in fashion, you know that a lot of expensive and luxury things that no one can get, it's just all marketing. And she has a degree in marketing. So I don't know why she's falling into this, I guess, materialistic world if she has studied it, okay? But not only is it a massive hoax, right? Most things in this world are massive hoaxes. It's also just bad to be materialistic. It's bad for the world, for the environment, and also bad for one's mental health, which that we'll also get into. But I'm planting a seed now. If you're new to this, I'm sorry to pop your bubble, but yeah, these things aren't worth that much value. It's the brand itself that has a heritage and they want to market it as something fancy. But it's actually just, it's pretty sad, right? They ship some of the Chinese factory workers to Italy or to Europe and then like give them the bare minimum, right? Pay them or whatever. And then the Chinese factory workers work in Europe to make these bags, but they ship them from China, okay? It's a cruel, harsh world.
This is the cruel, harsh reality of these types of brands.
This is the one thing about Tam that doesn't strike me as someone that's intelligent and wise. Like, having a degree doesn't equate wisdom. Having a degree does not equate clarity. So this is the one part that I believe she is not fit to give advice on. She seems to me more like an entrepreneur, more like a marketing manager, rather than someone that should be giving out fit and fulfilling and genuine life advice that could benefit one in the long run.
That's just what I think.
And it's like this thing of proving to myself that I can do literally anything I put my mind to. Because I look at a Rolex and I think, what do you mean there's this super beautiful watch that somebody my age isn't supposed to have? Like, that's not accessible to somebody like me. And literally the first thought in my head is, okay, bet. Okay, bet. Watch me go get it now. I don't know why my brain works like this. It gets like super competitive with myself almost.
That's not competitive. Wanting a lot of materialistic things. Okay, she literally said at 4 minutes that she doesn't have any designer brands. Like, she doesn't care for that.
I don't even buy designer clothes because I honestly don't see the point in that.
Just designer clothing is incredibly expensive. But if we are going to get into it, designer clothing is more expensive than the watch, than the bag, because you need a lot of designer clothes, right? If you want to fill your wardrobe up with 100% designer, it is going to be more expensive than the bags and the watch, because the bags and the watch are just accessories. The designer clothing is every single day, and it's like the turnover for the seasons that rich people or wealthy people have is crazy, okay? Yes, you don't have designer, but you want Rolexes and nice handbags and crazy expensive jewelry, which are actually worth nothing at the end of the day, most of them. Anyway, it's not being competitive with yourself or whatever. It's insecurities. Okay, and I say this for rich people, baroque people, and average people, and above average people. Being overly materialistic is insecure behavior. No one can change my mind on that ever. It is not only insecure, it's coming from a place of lack and fear. And I will never watch any, not just Tam, I will never watch any YouTubers or life advisors that are overly materialistic to listen to their life advice, because it doesn't come from a place of true confidence and true groundedness and wisdom. It comes from a place of lack. It comes from a place of fear and insecurities. If you are going to be giving life advice out, teaching women on how to be truly powerful and confident and I guess spiritual, and you are showing that you are overly materialistic and like to be overly chic and dolled up, that's an act. That's a performance. 99% of people, if they are done up in amazing makeup, like brides on their day, graduations, people are dolled up because it gives them confidence and it's fun and it's like that one time for a special occasion, right? But if it's to do it all the time, like getting fancy and looking good all the time, it's like a band-aid or a superhero's cape, but it's not real. If you can only be confident and step out of the house and feel happy and a boost of adrenaline, and you feel like you can thrive when you are only dolled up and glammed up and in your best outfit and looking your best and having all these designer brands or like expensive stuff or like quote unquote, Tam, a nice rollie.
Nice rollie on my wrist.
In order to feel something, prove something to yourself, like feel like you're thriving or succeeding in life, it is fake.
It is fake.
It is fake.
If you're stripped of your makeup, of your fancy or glamorous attire, right, or your jewelry, or all the trendy talk and put on personality, this performative personality to cover up whatever it is that you need actual healing, would you still be the same confident person? If that gets taken off one day and you can still be the same, like, you know, speak with the same level of confidence, right? If you are stripped of everything you own, that is who you are then. Not what you have when you have everything on top, when you're all dolled up. If you are stripped of everything you own and you don't have that type of support,
Who are you then? Are you still the confident person that you are?
if the answer is no, you are still in your healing era. And this is just a band-aid mindset that you need probably right now to get you to the next stage. No judgment from me, okay? Just observation and breaking things down. But
You shouldn't need this to feel any type of way.
And don't get me wrong, this is not limited to just designer things. This is just in general in life. It's exactly the reason why I decided to set up my first business at 17 years old, because that's not a normal thing to do when you're still in school studying. And it's probably also the reason as to why I juggle so many different things. Like, yes, I'm a YouTuber, but I had to have 2 channels. And on top of that, I have a podcast, which is now coming out with another YouTube channel because my podcast is about to be on video, by the way. And then on top of that, I wrote a book. And then on top of that, I'm on every other social media platform. I think the thing about me is limits give me the ick. I don't want to say to myself,
What?
there's a reason why people need to take breaks. I'm all for hard work. I'm all for chasing your dreams, achieving your goals, working hard, but I am also all for rest.
And also, don't be greedy and know your limits.
Mr. Beast, for example, we can see that man is a shell of a person with all that money in his bank and all the views he gets on YouTube. He has admitted that he is incredibly unhappy with his life.
Are you happy?
I'm gonna be honest, so far more unhappy than happy.
His eyes look dead to me, right? Mr. Beast, I pray for you. Please, please heal and take a freaking break. But working too much is not good. And working overload is also a sign of fear and insecurities. Okay, and this is the vibe and the energy that I get from Tam.
because I look at a Rolex and I think, what do you mean there's this super beautiful watch that somebody my age isn't supposed to have? Like, that's not accessible to somebody like me. And literally the first thought in my head is, okay, bet, watch me go get it now.
I believe she's still grinding for her own ego to prove to herself all the time, which is really dangerous because she's giving life advice out to other girls.
I don't know why my brain works like this. It gets like super competitive with myself almost. But hey, at the same time, I ain't mad about it because it honestly motivates me to work harder. And it's probably also the reason as to why I juggle so many different things. Like, yes, I'm a YouTuber, but I had to have 2 channels. And on top of that, I have a podcast, which is now coming out with another YouTube channel because my podcast is about to be on video, by the way. And then on top of that, I wrote a book. And then on top of that, I'm on every other social media platform. I think the thing about me is limits give me the ick.
She's not getting to the actual root of the issue. She's not actually also getting to the root problem of herself. She still needs these types of things. Don't overwork yourself, work hard, but when a break is due, please take your break and look after your health, because what are you gonna do with all this thing that you've achieved when your health is down the freaking drain and gutter?
Tell your friends around you to take a break. Remind them. Give them love.
You have one life. You can afford to relax. Okay, so a lot of you guys have messaged me about this particular video, which some of you have mentioned it's very problematic.
Being a bitch is not about being rude or spreading negativity. That is not what I'm about to advise you to do in this video. But everybody thinks that being a bitch is a bad thing because you're malicious and you're spreading negativity, but when the same word is applied to a man, it's the complete opposite. How can the exact same word have 2 different meanings? It literally makes no sense. Because when a man is dominant, he's just being a leader. When a man is aggressive, it's just part of his nature.
She used the word dominant for a man.
Because when a man is dominant, he's just being a leader.
Of course, people are gonna be like, yeah, a dominant man is dominant. And then when you Google search it, what is a dominant man? They're dominant and they're assertive and they're CEOs. But she's going to use the word a to describe women. Of course that the search is going to come out like, yes, a is a derogative term, right? And then she search a for a man and it means like a weak man, a pussy. She's twisting it to her own narrative, but it doesn't make any logical sense. If I put a dominant woman on Google or like, you know, a leader woman, an assertive woman, it's going to come out good. Like this woman is driven, hardworking. It's not going to say
This woman is a
right? If you say what is a for a woman, then it'll give you
This woman is a
type of explanation.
You see what I'm trying to say?
So yes, both men and women can be badly dominant. Like a man can be a dickhead. You don't call a woman a
I'm sorry for swearing, by the way.
You don't usually call a woman a dickhead, but there are derogative terms for men as well. She keeps saying like, you know, I don't want men and women to hate each other, but a lot of videos that she posts, she hates men.
And when a man is unreasonable, he's just being headstrong. F that shit.
I'm sorry, but Tam has issues with her past. I feel like this girl just hates men.
F that shit.
And she's putting this on her audiences.
that shit.
We can see that there's a lot of drama that she hasn't healed, and she's out here every now and then with a bit of aggression, hinting that she hates men.
We grew up being taught to hate each other. Taught to fight for the scraps of male attention like it's some prize. We can actually connect and build a stronger, more loving future together where men grow powerless in trying to pit us against one another.
just ridiculous. I think this type of content is the type of content that coddles women and looks down on men. This video is called The Ultimate Guides to Being a Girl's Girl and Unlearning Internalized Misogyny.
Being a girl's girl is not a vibe. It's not a cute TikTok trend and aesthetic. It's a rebellion. It's calling out internalized misogyny. And it's choosing sisterhood over ego every single time. We can actually connect and build a stronger, more loving future together where men grow powerless in trying to pit us against one another.
I feel like she cares more about her fashion than her actual advice. Again, she studied marketing, right? So she knows how to catch people's attention. She knows how to market her brand. I'm going to be real with you. If people ask me what type of life coach would you suggest, Tam Kaur will be the last that I will ever pull out of my pocket. This girl is clearly very talented, very driven, but she is not fit to be giving healthy and fulfilling life advice that can help people sustain clarity and stability in the long run. This is the thing. This is the thing that I want to say. Why are people trying so hard to be a girl's girl? Okay, because if you're a good person, you're just a good person. You don't need to be a girl's girl, a
Boy's girl, a boy's boy.
right? A boy, a girl's boy, or whatever, however you say it. If you're a good person, you're just a good person, right? This whole emphasis on a guide to being a girl's girl, and right, she is an advocate for not wanting to pit men and women against each other, but it's so biased.
We can actually connect and build a stronger, more loving future together where men grow powerless in trying to pit us against one another.
Where is the logic in that? Right? This whole being a girl's girl thing is so biased. So no, this whole ultimate guide to be a girl's girl, another trend. She is just a walking trend. So I don't think this is beneficial at all to anyone. It doesn't have true value. It really freaking doesn't.
Step 3, unbothered AF. The bitch has mastered the law of detachment, whereas the nice girl people pleaser constantly lives in this place of inferiority, insecurity, and fear. She feels like she has to prove herself to everybody else always, but the bitch is so confident and secure in herself and what she thinks of herself that why does she need to prove anything to anyone? The bitch is also non-reactive, like, oh, you're talking about me? Okay, and?
You're allowed to be reactive. It's just how you do it. You can be angry, but you don't have to show that you're aggressively angry, but you can be angry, sit there, and you can still react in a healthy way.
I'm really angry at what you did. That wasn't cool.
You are allowed to be bothered. It's just how you do it and expressed that you're bothered. This woman lacks emotional intelligence so hard, and that's why she's so materialistic, okay? And she also said you don't need to prove herself. Tam, your whole life is about proving yourself, from your toxic work ethics, right? That's self-destructive, to your over-consumerism and over-materialism. Okay, so I think that's enough. We've seen enough, right? I just like to say a quick word of advice if she ever watches this, okay? Maybe shift your career goals and direction to maybe more marketing and management and social media management, analytics, or data analysis. Anything but live advice giving. And I mean that in the most kind way and caring way for you and others.
I think people would benefit not listening to Tam's advice.
But yeah, this is what I have to say, okay? I hope that you've enjoyed this episode, that you've learned something today. So that is all for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, send it to all your friends, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye!